A young man stood on her stoop, tall with lanky hair falling in his face and thin, busy lips that he chewed while she studied him across the threshold. No one she'd met before. The sun was sharp. The maple outside her house was spiked with buds. Spring had arrived without her noticing. "Georgia Calvin?" She turned to check on Violet, in the dining room behind her, jabbering in her high chair. "Miss Calvin? I'm Nat Krause." He shifted his knapsack to offer her his hand. "I left a message I'd be coming." There had been several messages, in fact, from a young man at the Crimson. She'd erased them all without playing them through. Only one matter ever brought reporters calling, though years had passed since anyone had tried. This May, it would be 10 years exactly since Julie Patel's murder. Georgia always marked the day, May 5th, and made sure flowers were delivered to the family. Mr. and Mrs. Barid Patel, 32 North Beatty Street, Pittsburgh, PA. 9 bouquets and no replies. Nonetheless, she kept sending them, hoping that if she hadn't been forgiven, she might at least be accepted as a valid participant in the family's tragedy, someone who'd been involved in those events the way they had, directly and against her will, unlike the many others who'd taken an interest in the murder out of some personal objective, the Nat Krauses of the world. "You're the Harvard reporter." "Editor-in-chief, actually." His hand remained outstretched. She took it at last. The boy's palm felt sticky. His fingertips were stained with newsprint, black under the nails. The oncologist had warned her again this morning. Mark could only be safely released to a clean, contained environment. No welcome-home bouquets, no gifts of food, no guests. "I'm sorry, this really isn't a good time." A crashing noise came from behind her. She rushed back inside, relieved to find Violet strapped into her high chair, her bowl of mashed bananas spinning on its side across the floor. Georgia knelt to clean the mess. When she stood again, the young man was in her living room, laying his unwashed jacket over one armrest of her sofa. "Miss Calvin." "Reese. I'm Reese now." She hadn't taken Mark's name when they'd married, but with the onset of his illness, she'd filed the papers. She would be Reese and remain Reese, whatever happened from here on. The clock in the living room read 10:15. By noon, Mark would be prepared for discharge. Violet still needed her nap. Food lay scattered around the high chair. The reporter had tracked mud across the floor. "Look, if you'll just leave me your number." "One question, please. Give me 5 minutes and I swear I'll get out of your way." Despite the unkempt hair and rumpled bowling shirt, nods to hipsterism, the young man was clearly fanatically determined. The kind of guy that 10 years before she'd have found easy to handle. These Harvard boys had not changed. She was the one who'd changed. Her shirt was stained, her leggings had a hole in one knee, her eyes were ringed from lack of sleep, and white hairs had multiplied among the gold. The past year had done the transformative work of a decade. Just over 30, she must seem far removed from anything to do with sex or scandal. Violet let out a whimper of exhaustion. "I need to get the baby to sleep first." "No problem, I can wait." The young man dropped onto the sofa. Georgia resigned. "One question," and leaned down to unstrap the baby from her high chair.